Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you the worst beauty products of 2022. Now I know that this is a little bit late because it is the first week of 2023 that I'm filming this, but I like to test out products all the way up until the 31st of December just so I can see which ones are good and which ones are bad, ones that I'd recommend and which ones that I wouldn't. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So if you've seen my best beauty products of 2022 video, then you'll know that that one was a very long video. I had so many products in there, but this one luckily I don't actually have that many in here. So I have tried out quite a few new beauty products in 2022, but there are some that are sort of so I wouldn't really say they were the worst products, but these ones I definitely don't recommend that you spend your money on because personally I feel like that they are a waste of money. Now if anything in this video works out for you, then I'm so glad that it worked out for someone, but it just didn't work out for me. It's my own opinion and these are just a little bit of fun for these types of videos, and I really like watching these videos because I like to see things that people recommend that I don't waste my money on, because if I'd seen some videos before I purchased some of these products, I probably wouldn't have purchased them and I probably could have saved myself a lot of money. So if you want to see everything that's the worst beauty products of 2022, then just keep watching. So the first products that I'm going to talk about are foundations, and I only actually have two, which isn't that bad considering I tried out a lot of foundations last year. And these two will probably be no surprise to you guys if you do watch my channel, because I have already said how much I didn't like these products. So the first one is actually the Guerlain L'Essential High Perfection 24-Hour Wear Foundation. I can't remember when I tested this out. I don't know if this was at the end of 2021 that I tested it out or if it was in 2022. I honestly don't remember. Still, I thought I would feature it in this video because I didn't like this. This cost me like £44. This was very expensive. I did watch a couple of videos beforehand and people said that they really liked it. It was long lasting. When I tried this out on my channel, I did have very oily skin on that video, and this didn't really work out that well for me and it just wasn't very good. It wasn't long lasting. It felt quite greasy and oily on the skin, and no matter how much or how little I put on my skin, it just pretty much looked exactly the same. I tried this out quite a few times and it did exactly the same thing, and in the end I just looked oily and sweaty and it didn't look like a nice healthy glow. It looked like a sweat and it wasn't very nice. It says it's 24-hour wear. This is not 24-hour wear. It's also supposed to be high perfection. My skin looked okay when I was wearing it, like it did look really nice, but it's not long lasting. It was a waste of £44. The undertone is weird, the shade is very dark. I got 03W because the 02W was way too light and this one was too dark, so they don't really have a good shade range for the middle things, and I'm a light medium skin tone with a warm undertone when I'm tanned. I'm tanned most of the year anyway, and this one was too dark for me. I just didn't like it. It wasn't worth the money and I wish I hadn't spent my money on it. And the next one is actually worse than this one. I honestly hate this and it really annoyed me because so many people love this foundation, and that's why I purchased it, because I saw that people loved it. It was a brand new foundation and I was like, I'm going to do a video on it and see how I feel, and I had very high expectations for this and yeah, it didn't really perform. So this is the number one Chanel foundation. This was like £55, I want to say. £55. This was so expensive. It has so many claims about all of these skincare benefits, and they have the red camellia plan and things like that in this, and it's supposed to help your skin. They did a whole skincare line as well and a fragrance line. And I really didn't like this. I didn't think it looked like a second skin effect. I thought it looked very matte and very patchy on the skin. And I've tried a lot of foundations that are matte. I used to have very oily skin before I started my new medication, and matte was what I would go for, but this was literally just patchy. It would look cakey, horrible, no matter how much I used of the foundation. It didn't build up, it didn't stay on my skin very long. And then also around my nose, it felt like I was getting an allergic reaction. It just wasn't very nice. It felt quite itchy on the skin, and I know so many people love this and I just didn't like it. And this actually featured in my worst Chanel beauty video, which I'll link down below or somewhere so you can check it out, and I go into detail and things like that about it. But this is just not a very good foundation. The only good thing was the colour match was good, but I tried this a few times. It did exactly the same thing. I can't get it to work and it was a waste of money, so I'm annoyed that I spent £50 on that foundation. And for concealers, I have two. However, I don't have one of them because I gave it away, and the other one I do have, but I I'm only keeping it because it's so expensive. So the one that I do have is the Chanel Corrector, and this is in the shade B10. Now the shade is good, however this concealer is just so bad. I saw a review from Erin Nicole. She said that this was one of her favourites, so I purchased it because I like most of the things that she likes. So I purchased it, and the first time I used it, my under eyes were quite dry. Like, it felt very drying under the eyes. I thought maybe I need to put some new under eye cream on or something like that. Need to put a lot of moisture underneath the eyes. And then I tried it out again. I got exactly the same thing. And I think I tried this probably about 4 or 5 times. And every single time it's looked so cakey, so dry. It also doesn't blend very well. So I usually get like a patch where the concealer is and then where my foundation is, and it's just not good. I mean, the coverage is okay, so medium coverage, but it's just so drying. This was about £30, and it's definitely not worth the money. My favourite ones are the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. I also like the Camo Concealer, and I think the Camo Concealer is way better than this one. It's only like £5-6, so that one is super affordable. I wouldn't waste your money on this one. This also featured in my Worst of Chanel Beauty video as well, but I don't like this. But if you do want to get a corrector, I recommend going and getting the Rose one. The Rose one is amazing. That's one of my best of Beauty 2022 and one of my favourite products that I use every single day. I'm even wearing it at the moment underneath my concealer, and it is so good. So this one is just a dud for me. And the other concealer is by Rare Beauty. I don't have it anymore, but I pretty much had the same experience with that as I do with the Chanel one, because it just looks so cakey, so drying underneath the eyes. The coverage was sort of like, I would say it was about a light medium coverage, and I know that I think it says like medium full coverage on the website. It just looked patchy, cakey, didn't blend out very nicely, made my under eyes look horrible and dry, and just accentuated loads of lines under my eyes and didn't cover up any of my under eye circles. So that one went after about 2 or 3 times of trying it because it just wasn't worth it, and I think it was over £20, so it was very expensive for a concealer and it didn't work. So yes, I really didn't like that one. And I have an eyeliner, and this one will be no surprise if you watch that video that I featured this eyeliner in, and this one is the Makeup Revolution Beetlejuice eyeliner. Now, I did one eye and it was amazing. It just glided on so easily. It looked very nice, it was very matte, and it was very pigmented. Then I went to do the second eye and it had pretty much dried out. And this is normally, I think it was like £6 if I didn't get it in the set. So £6 for an eyeliner to work on one eye and then not work on the other one, it's just really annoying. And it was annoying because it was very good on the one eye. When I skipped to the other one and it just didn't want to go on, it was very patchy. I had to go over several times to even get any type of pigment. It's just, yeah, it's not very good. I haven't tried out anything else from Revolution with the eyeliners, other than I tried out one of the pot liquid ones that cost me about £1 years ago, and that one was actually really good. But the felt tip liner, really bad. The Rare Beauty one is amazing, so I'd say go ahead and spend your money on that one, because that one's going to last you for months and this one is going to last you for one eye, so there's no point in buying this one. And I have 2 mascaras, and I don't have any of these mascaras with me because one of them I chucked in the bin, the other one I had to send it off because I had an allergic reaction. So that's why I don't have these, and that just proves to you how bad these mascaras actually were. So the first one is the Charlotte Tilbury one. I can't remember the name of it. That one was so bad. It was so dry, it was flaky, it did nothing for my eyelashes, it flaked everywhere, it didn't build up at all, and it just looked absolutely horrible. I did a full review on it on my channel, which I'll link down below or somewhere in this video so you can check it out. But I had people messaging me going, I really like that one, maybe you just got a bad one. I didn't have it for that long and it was already dried, and I actually saw that there were loads of reviews from people saying exactly the same. It was flaky, it was very, very dry, it doesn't build up, it pretty much did nothing for my eyelashes, and I think that one's over £20, so don't waste your money on it. Just look at my Best of Beauty 2022 video and you'll see that there are some more mascaras on there that are more affordable, that are so much better than that one. But yeah, I don't like that one and I wish I didn't buy it, but at least I got a video out of it and you guys can see exactly what it was like and how it applied, but it wasn't very good. And the other one was from Chanel, and you guys know that I try out a lot of Chanel Beauty on my channel. I do like a lot of it, but this one was a very big thumbs down for me. So basically it had been released in the UK, it wasn't released in the US anywhere, so I couldn't see any videos or any reviews because there weren't any available on YouTube for me to actually see, or any reviews anywhere. So I picked this one up and it had loads of claims and it looked like it was going to be the most perfect mascara. It was also more expensive than all the other mascaras. It was £37, and that is the most that I've ever spent on a mascara before, and I tried that out and it was really bad. So basically you can see it on the video. I did a dedicated video so you can see what I looked like when I applied it, and it did nothing for my eyelashes. I would put 1 coat on, didn't really do much. I did 2 coats and it did a little bit more, but then on the outside it all started to droop, and then all my eyelashes were sticking together, and that was like after the second coat. I tried it I think twice, but I did several different coats and it literally just drooped. And even Neil looked at it and he was like, your eyelashes look really bad. And he doesn't even say anything about my makeup, but even he had to point out that the eyelashes looked really bad and like spider legs and sticking together. I also got an allergic reaction to it as well, and I've never had an allergic reaction to a ChloeL product before, other than I think the foundation I probably had an allergic reaction to, but I don't know. But this one I had an allergic reaction to. My eyes were watering, my eyes got really red and puffy, and I actually spoke to the customer service and said, you know, I got this allergic reaction, I don't really know what to do, you know, I don't want the product anymore because I can't use it. And they were very, very nice, and they asked me to just send it off, and they were doing the testing in their labs to see if there was anything weird that had gone on there, and they did give me the full refund because I think they were like, well, she can't use it, there's obviously something wrong with it. So I did also mention I'd never had an allergic reaction to a ChloeL product before, so it was something that was very weird. But I actually did my video and people could see me applying it, they saw what my eyelashes look like, and I still had people commenting on there saying I didn't have this experience with this mascara, you didn't work on it properly, you didn't do it properly, and things like that. And then also on the ChloeL website I put a review on there and someone actually said don't listen to the negative review. And I'm like, but it was my own opinion and that's just what happened and my own experience. So yeah, that's a little bit weird when people are like, don't listen to the reviews. It's like, everyone has their own opinion on how things work. I actually watched Erin Nicole's video that she did after I did my video, and she had exactly the same experience with the mascara as me. So I know that it wasn't just me, she had it. So I don't know if they had like a batch that was faulty and really thick and really horrible. My eyelashes were just sticking together because it was that thick. It just didn't do anything. So yeah, it was not a very good mascara. I don't recommend these two mascaras because they were so bad, and I wish that I hadn't wasted my money on them. But again, check out the Best of Beauty video and you'll see some of the mascaras that are definitely worth the money. I also have two eyeshadow palettes, and this is the last category for the makeup, and I really didn't like these, but I know that this is probably going to be a little bit controversial because I know that some people have very strong opinions on these products, but I just didn't like them. They didn't work out for me, and I was annoyed because they work out for a lot of people. So the first one is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow palette, and this one is in the shade True to Myself. I really didn't get on with this. I did my video on this and you can see that it was so hard to work with. Some of the eyeshadows are very nice and pigmented, but other ones just, there's no pigmentation there. I think about 3 of the shades I like, and then other ones there's just no pigment, it doesn't work and it's not very good. And it's like nearly £30 for this eyeshadow palette, so it's, to me, not worth the money. I didn't like it, it didn't really do anything for me, and you can see in the video how it works, but I tried it about 3 times and I just couldn't get it to work, so that was annoying. And then this one I regret purchasing because this cost me almost £50 because this is a ChloeL eyeshadow quad. I've seen for a long time that people have said that the quads just aren't worth the money from ChloeL, and they're very hit and miss, and there are only certain ones that are actually worth the money. And in all honesty, I've now come to the conclusion that the quads aren't worth the money, and I don't know if I'd waste my money on any of them unless they're limited edition, and this one was a limited edition one for a specific collection that they did. And I've used it a few times. I think I've used it about 4 or 5 times because I'm trying to get my use out of it. I'm trying to make it work, and it just doesn't work for me. And this one is the quad in the shade 384 Imaginaire, and I think this was part of the Rev de Chanel collection. And it is very pretty. When you look at it, it is very, very beautiful and the shades are so pretty. However, it's lacking pigmentation. The only shade really that I like that has pigmentation is the shimmer. But the shimmer, you have to actually use your finger for it, and you get the standard little sponge applicators in the ChloeL quads that you always get. So it looks like a very nice palette, but on the website it actually looks more different. Like, it looks like there was more variation between the colours, and then when I got it in person it just looks a bit, I don't want to use this like sound, but it just looks a bit meh, and I don't like that. But yeah, it looks different on camera, because on camera it actually looks like that one is more of a burgundy shade and these two don't look that much alike, but in person these 3 shades look exactly the same. There's like a tiny difference. It doesn't work out for me. I've tried to use it several times and I just can't get much pigmentation. Like I said, the only shade I really like is a shimmer shade, and it just lacks pigmentation. And this was nearly £50, and it was a quad, and it's so expensive, and I'm annoyed at myself for buying it, but it was limited edition collection, so I thought that it would be good. And I know that it's a controversial one because so many people like these quads from Chanel, and also some people were saying that the point of the Leblanc or Rev de Chanel collection was the whole idea that everything is very like muted, there's not much pigmentation, it's meant to be very natural and sort of like French girl makeup. And I understand that, but not everybody wants French girl makeup, and people do want pigmentation, especially if you're paying that money for it. And I do think that they probably should have put that in the comments or on the description of the actual eyeshadow quad. And that's all of the makeup, and the last two things that I have are two skincare items that I no longer have because they just didn't work out for me and I really didn't like them. So the first one I have is the Tarte Micellar water. So I did get a little sample, I think it was about this big, and I got a little sample when I put an order into Tarte. I used it on my eyes and my eyes burnt and stung like crazy. My eyes went bright red and puffy, and I was like, what is in this to make my eyes go like this? And I thought it was just me because I got sensitive eyes, and I was like, I'm not going to put it on the rest of my face. And usually with my micellar water I'll put it all over the face and also on the eyes. I did it on the eyes and I thought, no, this isn't going anywhere near my face. And then I also had to just use my normal micellar water from Garnier and press a cotton pad on each eye and just hold on for a very long time to stop the stinging and actually get the product off. So that stuff, luckily I didn't pay full price for it, but I did look on the website and quite a lot of people had exactly the same issue as I did. And the other skincare product that I really didn't like is probably again going to be controversial because so many people rave about this product and absolutely love it, but I didn't like it. It just didn't work out for me, and it's the Paula's Choice BHA Exfoliant. I have, again, sensitive skin, and I saw that so many people rave about this. So like, it cleared up my acne, it made my skin look so good, and I've got to tell you, it made my acne worse. And a lot of places do say to use it twice a day. I know for a fact that my skin cannot handle exfoliant twice a day. So what I was doing is I started doing it a couple of times a week. So 2 or 3 times a week I would do it on my skin, but it'd only be in the evenings. And then I'd also make sure that I was using products that wouldn't add extra irritation to that. And I used it, and in all honesty, my acne got way worse. My skin was bright red and it did feel quite tingling on the skin. I didn't know if the tingling was something that was in the formula, because some acne skincare that I've used before, it does give you a little bit of a tingle, then after a while it goes away. So what I did after I did for the first week, I did 3 times a week. I decided to cut down and do 2 times a week. And then the 3rd week I did once a week, and then the 4th week I did once a week. And it did not react very well to my skin. My skin was so raw, my acne was just worse, and it just didn't feel nice on the skin. So the good thing is with Paula's Choice, they do have the, I think it's a 28-day money back guarantee. So I did send them a message and said, you know, this didn't work out for me. I feel like I got an allergic reaction to it. It just made my acne worse. And they were so good, and they gave me a refund for it. But for me, that didn't work out. I don't know if it's going to be the same for people that do have sensitive skin, but it's not very good for me. It didn't work out for my acne, but again, I know so many people that absolutely love that product. So these are all the products that are my worst of 2022, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If there's any products that you recommend or things that you didn't like, or if you had exactly the same experience as me, or if you had a different experience as me to some of these products, then just comment down below to let me know. And like I said, it's just a little bit of fun just to let you know what didn't work out for me, but if they worked out for you, then I'm glad that they worked out for someone. And make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!